Welcome back to Grampy's Garage. I'm Grampy. So, my wife's having this intermittent problem with her battery. Well, an intermittent problem with her Mini. And I believe it has something to do with the battery. Yesterday, for the past month, she's been having these odd messages come across the message panel in the car. And off the top of my head, I can't think of what they are, but they've all kind of pointed towards battery situations, especially when I look them up online. What I've found, I don't want to tear it apart right yet, because I believe the battery was replaced 2 years ago. We had to have it towed to Mini in Hartford, and I think that's a new battery. Not that old. So I'm not looking to replace the battery, but I have to figure this out. All right, so I took this cover off, which, whatever, the cover's off. So I was playing around in here, I was checking voltage, and I noticed that that's loose. One of the messages she was getting was the intelligent battery sensor, which is that, and it detects current in the battery or in the charging system. With this being, if you see that, loose, obviously current is not going to be going through the battery properly. So one thing I want to do is I want to disconnect the ground and then disconnect the positive and determine why it's loose. Could just be loose because the volt's loose. Could be loose because the positive connector is the hold down for the connector is not holding down properly or worn out or something. But to do that, I have to disconnect the battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the situation where you plug that into the OBD2 connector, plug that to a battery source so we don't lose our codes, we don't lose our settings in the car. So stand by. The OBD2 connector is right there. You see it? Yep, right there. So we're going to plug this little puppy into there, like that. Let's disconnect that first. Turn that on. Oop. We still have a good battery here. Hold on. This is a pain in the butt. Yep, 12 something. That's our positive, that's our negative. Positive. Positive. negative. And then plug that in. All right, light there. Okay. So now we're powering the car. Normally I would be working on this in the garage, but I didn't want to start it first because this is where it's been parked all night. I wanted to work on it. You always disconnect your negative battery terminal first. That way you don't get a spark. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at the sensor for any breaks. I do see that the connections here on the terminal and the battery are what I call kind of glazed over. It's you can tell that there's not a good shiny metal surface that's creating the connection. We'll deal with that in a minute. So we should probably take this thing off. All I'm doing is taking this piece right here out. Now, you have to register these batteries, which you do with a scan tool. And from what I understand, it has to be a scan tool that's specific for the car you're registering or the make. This would be BMW. Oh, where'd that piece go? Oh, of course it dropped. Damn it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There's a piece for the vent that goes into the vent, which just disappeared down in the abyss. Of course it did. Let's see if we can tighten this. Yep, okay. I'd like to say that loose connection is what was causing the issue. I do not want to go further than that at this point. What I'll do now is I'll put it back together and then I'll have her drive it and we'll see if the problem is solved. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these battery connections. Okay. Now our electrical system is still powered, so we want to be really careful where these things go. Granted, it's powered through the OBD2 connector. What we can do here, $13mm. This right here that I'm pointing to is part of that right there. So, and basically that's so you can jump start the car. So that can go up out of the way, so I can get to this, so I can, take care of getting the battery posts cleaned up and get some fresh metal there that the connectors can seat on. All right. Then do the negative one. All right. I'm gonna blow this off. Get all these leaves out of here. I'm gonna put the positive on first. All right, that is tight. Let's hook up this jump start doohickey thing. And then negative back on, negative post there. Being real careful not to hit your positive with your wrench. Okay. Put that battery sensor back on. Positive click. All right, there we go. Sneak this down in here. My GoPro is at 5%. Of course it is. It was at 55%. 25 minutes ago. All right. Oh my Lord. I just talked for 15 minutes and the camera was off. The camera was off. What is the deal? I hate this GoPro. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Well, I won't know until I edit it, but I hope you liked watching my video. Like, subscribe, comment. I like reading the comments, and I do answer the comments. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. So an update on the Mini. She has not gotten any messages on the dash in 4 or 5 days since I repaired it. So it looks like the loose positive battery terminal was the problem with the Mini. I kind of figured it would be once I found that, but you never know nowadays. You know, it's one of those gremlins that sometimes you don't find. And one thing you have to remember to do is take things one step at a time. Don't change too many things when you're trying to diagnose something. Well, again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. I love to read the comments, and I'll talk to you soon.